not having this particular item taken on today and rewritten and presented to the delegates.
All right. Anita? Okay.
Well, I think that's a motion.
Yeah.
That's a modification.
That as a motion.
That's a modification to the motion, so that
that this change be held in abeyance for further wordsmithing.
Excuse me?
That this motion be held in abeyance, not the motion. The bylaw change be held in abeyance.
The bylaw be held in abeyance.
For revision.
For revision.
Okay?
And I think we should all consider that. Lots of times you don't come. You could be sick. You could be out of town.
All right, so this is your motion. Do we have a second on this? Betty Blackman, seconds. Any further discussion on this one? What? Uh-oh.
Yeah. Oh, of the first
The
one.
motion to eliminate that particular item in Article 3 and come back another time and vote on that one was the one that I made. Now it's easier just to do that and then vote on it at a later time than keep on making amendments to it, I think. So my suggestion is to go ahead with my motion and then come back at a later time and vote on it.
Okay, fair enough.
Fair enough.
You're right, because your motion was on the floor, Jean.
All right.
Apologies.
So we need that. We need a statement on this so we can get it up on the screen. Yeah, she's right. Jean had a motion on the floor. So let's hear that one. Do we have that in writing?
Gene, you want to restate your motion? So you gave it. You should restate it.
Do you have it?
It's okay.
Let's make note of it.
I don't have to go to the gym today. The motion is to vote on Article 3, eliminating, what was it, F2, okay? And then take it up at a later time.
Well, okay, we can take it up at a later time under any condition,
Right.
and that's really the essence of Ed's motion. So let's deal with your motion first, and then if you feel the need, you'll put in that modifying motion. Okay? Do we have a second to Jean's motion? All right. Who did it?
Helen.
Okay, Helen, you're right. You got enough to get something up there? Simple enough. Any further discussion on this? All right.
Call for your vote.
Say again?
No.
No, we're gonna take this objectionable part out, and then there will probably be a modification in advisory. Right.
Right. It's passed.
Can I ask a question?
Where
I'm
are
over
you?
here.
Hi, Phyllis.
Hi. Is it still in place that if there is not a quorum on the executive board, the vote goes back to officers?
Oh, I'm
Is that still in place?
not aware of that
No.
When was that taken out?
one. Jesus.
Because I remember that from a while ago,
Wow.
that it just kept going back and back if there was no quorum.
Right.
I didn't see it in the 2013 bylaws, which were amending. It might have been before that. Is that possible?
Oh, absolutely. I've been here since the Declaration of Independence.
How about the Magna Carta?
All right. Has everybody pushed a button that would like to push a button?
Well, here we go. They're waking up.
The second one is 19.
All right, remember Marilyn's comment on the little green light?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, that's better. Now we're getting somewhere.
She's still got
All right.
people not voting.
Last call for votes, please.
I gotta write these down.
All right, bring it up, please.
103, okay.
Yeah,
So the motion passes.
motion carries. You got one more? Anita?
Yes, and Ed, you're okay with that, knowing that we will take up your recommendation when it goes back to
Right.
advisory. Okay. Okay, the next one is Article 4, but I just want to note that you'll notice in the booklet that it was originally Article 3, which was purposes, but we got a suggestion from several people not to eliminate it. We had eliminated it in our recommendations because the purposes were already listed in the Articles of Incorporation, and we thought it was duplicative. So we wanted to take it out, but some of you came back and said, no, the purposes for UCO should be in the document for the purposes for UCO, and we agreed. So in the revisions, it's back in. That's just an FYI for you. It is in, and our attorney recommended that we do that. So I guess we should vote now on Article 4.
So this is essentially a matter of stating the purpose in the document, yes?
Yes.
The purpose of UCO.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, we probably should have a vote, because that's a change from what was in the original booklet. It's in the revision, so we probably should have a vote to return the list of UCO purposes to the bylaws.
Okay, that's another motion we've just come up with today. Right? That's not this thing on the board.
No,
Okay.
that's not the one on the board.
All right, we have a motion from Phyllis to state the purpose of UCO in our bylaws. Is that correct?
To return it, yes.
To return it, yes. Okay, yeah, that's fair enough. Do we have a second on that? Ed seconds that. Ed Grossman. And you're going to punch that one up?
To the bylaws.
To the bylaws. Oh,
David,
simple enough. Yes, Marilyn.
Marilyn Gordetza, Camden D. We're going to need a number for this then, because we've moved Article 3, am I correct?
Yeah.
Yes,
Fair enough.
Yes, and what we're going to do is vote on the articles as they appear,
Okay.
and then when we do the final, that we get back to everybody, they will be renumbered.
Okay.
Right. Thanks. We have any discussion on this one? Seems reasonable enough. Simple. All right. Bring it up. Ooh.
It passed.
Everybody push a button who wishes to push a button. There you go. There you go. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, okay. Oh, that one passes too. We got anything else?
We have Article 4,
Okay, go ahead.
and that is the one that was up before. And that's delegate assembly. And as I said, this is the way the delegate assembly is constructed and how it operates. And you'll see it, the list of associations, how the delegates are listed. You go on further, talks about delegates performing in good faith, talks about absent delegates, postponement of a vote, and abstention, which you brought up earlier. And under the revisions, you'll see that it is worded to make sure that an abstention counts as a non-vote. Okay? What else? There's a section on criminal offenses so that delegates are automatically removed if they conduct any criminal offense having to do with UCO finances or anything else to do with UCO. That's the section. And
All right.
David, we're ready for a vote.
Do I have a motion on this?
We need one.
Is that Lenore? Lenore Velkoff makes the motion. And who seconds it? Ed? Ed Grossman seconds. Any further discussion on this one? Hi, Jack.
Good morning, David. Jack Adams, Coventry K. On page 7L, minutes. From those audio-video recordings within 45 days of the adjournment of the meeting.
That was revised.
That's the one that's passed? I passed already?
Yeah, did we just do that? What's he talking about?
What's the question, Jack?
I thought I'm reading Article 4, but I'm being told that I'm not.
No.
My question is about the minutes having to be recorded within 45 days after the delegate assembly meeting. Has that already been? All right, I apologize.
That's okay, Jack. And it has been revised, you know, so that now it reads, if you look at the revisions, it now reads that written minutes shall be prepared and submitted in a timely manner for publication in the next issue of the UCO Reporter.
Oh.
So we took the number out and said, let's make sure that it's just timely without putting a...
Good job. I stand corrected.
Is that what
Thanks,
you wanted?
Thank you.
Excellent. Good.
I think if we took 45 days to get minutes out, the only reason might be they were lost. The dog ate my homework.
Hurricane.
All right.
Right.
Yes.
Ron Rossoff, Waltham C.
Hi, Ron.
Under criminal offenses, laws need to be disgustingly precise. This one says anybody that steals UCO property or members' property is automatically bounced. That means you can steal something from anybody else but a delegate?
No.
I mean, this sounds like basic law, but
This actually comes from 718. It was borrowed from
Right.
the statute, and I take your point very well, but this is related only to UCO offenses.
No, it's not. No.
No? Well,
Delegate, officer, member of the executive board convicted of a felony involving UCO funds or property or a member's funds or property. So, no.
no one.
well, a member, a UCO member, I hear what you're saying. Yes, well, that's a UCO, a member of UCO.
But a member is defined as a delegate, usually the president. So, anyway.
A member of UCO is any unit owner.
Right.
Yeah, right. Okay, thank you.
And that's okay.
Good point.
All right.
That's okay.
All right, Ron. Thank you. Anything else on this? Yes, we ready? No other questions? All right. Let's bring it up. Make sure you press it long enough to see that green light. And if you don't see that green light, let John know when you turn these in. It may need a battery.
What did I do with mine? Here it is.
Everybody who wishes to vote, have you voted? A little short from last time, but that's okay. No law says you have to vote. All right. Yep. All right. So that one passes too. Anita, do we have anything else?
We have one last one, which is Article 5, and that is powers and duties of the Delegate Assembly. And that pretty much is what you do. So proving all personnel, delegate the authority in a written management agreement to enter into contracts for repairs of maintenance and property, approve costs, approve borrowing of funds, approve all budgets. They're all here, and I'm sure you've read them. It's essentially laying out what you do and what you have the power and responsibility to do, which is considerable.
All right. Would anyone like to make a motion on this one? Marilyn Gordetzer moves this item. Do we have a second? Jackie Carlin is a second. Right, Jackie? Yes? All right. Any further discussion on this item? Uh-oh. Hi, Jean.
Hi. I'm going to be up here all the time. We need to make this mic shorter for me. Okay, I have two. One is on committees. It's my feeling that the president should appoint his committees, but then that committee chair should be allowed to appoint their own committees and keep them without, in other words, they don't need approval for them. That chair has to work with those people and therefore needs to be people that they work with and so forth. So I would take out that number 10 and take care of that one. And then the
Hold
second
on 1 second, Jean.
Yeah.
You're in Article 8, committees.
Wait a minute. Article 5, it says here, powers and duties of the Delegate Assembly. And then it says 10. Am I on the wrong place?
Wait a minute, hold on.
Approve the establishment.
Okay, yes, let me go to the revision. Hold on.
I didn't have a revision on that one in my packet, so I just looked.
Yeah, I think, hold on 1 second.
Okay.
We'll just pull it up. Yeah, pull it up for you. I need the revision. Abstention, criminal offenses. The approving the establishment of any committee deemed necessary to advise the Delegate Assembly, or to, I'm just reading it so everybody knows what you're talking about, to implement the work of the Assembly, to define the responsibility of such committee, and to approve the membership of those committees as appointed by the chairperson. That's got to be in the revisions. We revised it and took out that last phrase because it's not practical for the Delegate Assembly to
Right.
Approve every committee member.
Right.
So-
I don't have those revisions, though,
Okay,
so,
do you have
okay. Well, I have one more. Maybe you've revised this one, too.
Okay, hold on. Yes, it is. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, it's in the revisions, and I'll read you the revisions so you all know, and you have the document with you. It is page 12, Article VA10, you are correct. Powers and duties of the delegate assembly. Approve the establishment of any committees deemed necessary to advise the delegate assembly or to implement the work of the assembly. And what we took out was to define the responsibility of such committees and to approve the membership of those committees. And what we said was the deleted language does not apply in actual practice.
Okay.
So you were correct, but it is in the revisions.
Oh, okay.
Another one?
And I have one more, and that was B3, which has the budget. And my addition to that one would be that the delegate assembly has the authority to change or to vote on line items in the budget. Up until now, we only vote on the whole budget, not the line items, and I think the delegate assembly, as the final say on that budget, needs to be able to vote line items, and that would be my objection to that one. So if it hasn't been revised...
You're right, and it has been revised.
Okay. I just don't have that revision either.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we put line item veto in, I remember.
Yes, we did.
Okay.
We put it in under Finance Committee, though.
Okay.
Yes, we put it in later, and there is a line item veto allowed, and we can get that for you.
Oh, okay.
Yes. You said you wanted to put it here?
I make sure it's
That
in
it's in.
somewhere. I don't care where it is, as long as it's in.
Well, you're correct,
Okay.
and in a line item veto is included in the bylaws now.
Okay. All right, good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gene. Ed, come up, please.
I'd just like clarification. Is it in the part of the finance, or is it in part of the delegate assembly has the ability to vote on the line item?
It's in the Finance Committee section.
Well, then I'd like to make a comment.
Sure.
I think everybody here gets the budget, wants to have a say. Now, it's fine to have a finance committee, but not necessarily everything any committee does is approved by everything. And I think finances is a very important part of our function here. And we've had the delegate assembly in the past vote on budget line items. Now, if you want to make some items which are de minimis, $500 or $1,000 eliminated, I agree. But when you have large numbers, I think everybody here, and those that are not here, for whatever reason, should have an opportunity. Now, it takes more time, but we're working on something that's going to be for the next year. So a little bit more time is not the issue. The issue is to get as many of us involved so that we don't have delegate assemblies without people coming and saying, well, we got nothing to say. So if they have something to say, whether it's me, you, or the next guy, and you don't come, you've given up your right. But if you have something to say, then you have the ability to say it. So I'm going to be a bit redundant, which I do at times. If we eliminate the delegate assembly to vote on significant line items, then we're giving up something we shouldn't give up. And I'd like to have that amended. We'll put this in suspension like we did the other so it could be reworked.
But I think we just agreed
Yes.
that line item veto is in there. It's in the revised
And it's
document.
voted by the delegates.
I thought you said it's in the Finance Committee.
Yes, it is. The function of the Finance Committee and includes, I believe that's where it is, yes, and it includes the line item veto, which is approved by the delegate assembly.
All right, because it's sort of, if it's in the Finance Committee, how does it get to the delegate assembly? Just make that clear to me.
Okay. Well, it's stated in the language that it is, and in this,
Wouldn't it be clearer just to put it in to the delegate assembly? I mean, we're going through the back door. It's on the Finance Committee, but we have the ability to...
Well, okay, what we have is that the Delegate Assembly approves all budgets of UCO. I mean, is it necessary to add an all line item veto?
Absolutely.
Mr. President,
Absolutely.
Hold on.
point of information.
Yes, Marilyn.
Are we not discussing 1 through 5?
Right.
Not 6, 7, and 8?
That's
Because
right.
that's what this is going into.
Yes, except one point that Ed makes is that he wants it to be in Article 5, not just in Article 8. So it's a modification that you're asking for to Article 5.
Yes, and in all due difference, Marilyn, what's in writing is what everybody turns to. So if it's in the right article, being redundant in the Finance Committee is not the end of the world. So I'm restating that that particular item be stated in the Delegate Assembly portion.
And that's a motion.
I would like to say something.
All right.
Again.
Phyllis?
Yeah. Don't we have a budget town hall meeting prior to the budget being approved? And wouldn't it be prudent at that point to make sure that if you are a delegate, you show up at that meeting so that you do have the power that you're talking about?
All right.
Excuse me.
As you will recall,